So we're talking about organization of data center and server solution. Much of the things we are going to be discussing is something you are already familiar with, but be that as it may, we'll still talk. And so for today, we have our information technology, which serves as an important partner for business innovation, while ensuring that businesses are run effectively with minimal cost. If you go to every business establishment, especially the bigger ones, ICT is driving every aspect of the business. They manage data, collect data, process it, and manage it. So at the core of all these their business transactions with ICT is the concept of what you call the data center, which is supposed to be a workhouse or a workshop for that particular enterprise, because that is where every of the ICT facilities they are now concentrated in. So we'll discuss the organization of data center and server solutions, intended learning outcomes. By the end of this unit, you'll be able to explain the concepts of data center. 2, describe the techniques in data processing. 3, discuss the importance of data center to businesses. The question now comes up, what is a data center? Of course, a data center here, if you have a very big office or a very big office complex, you could call it as a dedicated space within that particular office, which is now made up of computers that are networked, storage that is used by the organization, the processing, storing, and disseminating of huge information within that particular office. So that particular big space they dedicate that houses their computer, houses the storage, and where the processing takes place is what you refer to as a data center. Businesses usually rely upon the application, service, and data in the data center, making it an important component of business operation. Data centers are of various types, and we will discuss them in the following section. There are many different types of data centers that you may find in all sectors of the economy. Whether you are talking about finance, you are talking about hospitality, you are talking about the medical area, the universities, the government, and so on. So the categories of data center are as follows. The first one is production data center. These production data centers are the type that are situated within a building, and its construction takes a long time. So its deployment takes a lot of time, and you cannot satisfy the flexibility of business requirements. The second one is what you call modular data center. This one is located in the shipping container together with the UPS, server, cooling system, storage device, and network devices in racks. Advantage of modular data center is that the deployment is done with ease because it's mobile to meet with the customer requirements. It is plug and play and connects directly with the internet. Another advantage is that it supports more servers than traditional data center. And these type of servers are not compatible with other type of data center. The third one is the one you call the green data center. When you talk about green, you are talking about things that have to do with energy saving. So green data centers are energy savers that use technologies like modular design and advanced power units. And most of these data centers, they use renewable energy source to reduce carbon emission and cost of operation. Facebook and Apple are already having vast solar panels that provide power to the center. So a data center that uses renewable energy does not rely on the traditional energy supply. We can call that one the green data center. Microsoft is also doing the same part in purchasing green data solutions. And data center requires some basic hardware to function effectively. So let's look at some of this hardware. Hardware used in data center are as follows. The most important one is the server. the server a computer that has very big storage. The storage is very big and the computer is powerful. And this is where all the internet services, they go through. So you can call such a computer a server. Server form the main elements of the data center, where storage, analysis, and transmission of data is done. And it also determines how a data center performs. Servers are classified based on their shapes as follows. You have the blade server, the tower server, and the rack server. Let's look at them one after the other. Blade servers are high density, low cost, stripped down servers. It is designed in a modular fashion, optimized to minimize less space. They are majorly referred to as the next generation server. A blade enclosure, a vital element of the blade server, provides functions such as networking, cooling, and can hold on to many blade servers. Second one is tower server. They are designed to form an upright cabinet position. It looks like a normal tower, like this, your tower systems on your desktop. Performance and shape of this type of server is better than others. It does not suit the cloud data center because it's not flexible. Third one is the rack center. The rack center. The rack contains several servers and consumes less space. Its main disadvantage is its complex use of cables. Rack servers are better in occupying and managing space. Then, apart from the server, the next hardware component you have in the data center is the switch. A switch connects network devices together. Switch is considered an intelligent device compared to a hub. The most common switch used in a data center are Cisco Nexus 7000 series, ROG 18,000 series, Huawei Cloud Engine 12800 series, and Arista 7500E series switches. These are the common type of switches. Apart from switches, servers, the next one again will be cable. Cables are used to connect all these devices we have mentioned so far together, and it now makes it an important component of the data center. Cables used are coaxial, twisted pair, or fiber optics, and the selection of cables is dependent on what it will be used for. Cables are used to connect all these devices. Okay, we mentioned that before, sorry. Apart from cable, we also have storage. The most common storages used in a data center are network attached storage, which is NAS, and storage area network, SAN. NAS is a file-oriented storage network in which storage components are directly connected to LAN, the local area network. Storage area network is a high-speed storage network, provide high accessibility to files or block-level data for servers. Most important storage used are EMC symmetries, VMAS 40K, HP 3PAR store serve, 10,000 storage. Rack. We talked about the storage, talked about the cables, talked about the switch, the server. We are not talking about rack. The rack is a vital element of the data center, and it supports different components like servers, storage devices, and switch for managing space. The rack is just like a cabinet where you can arrange all these devices together. Open racks and cabinets are the two main types of rack. They have high flexibility that can be easily managed and configured. Most common racks used are MRC network power, DCF optimized racks, CMON V600 data center server cabinet, and so on. Importance of data center to businesses. In the world of enterprise IT, data centers are there to support businesses' activities, which include email and file sharing. Of course, you can even open email, company emails inside the data center, and even share files. Productivity application which can help you speed up productivity can be found in data center. Customer relationship management and enterprise resource planning software are also in the data center. Then big data, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. It allows you to manage complex data, which may be in large quantities, using AI and even machine learning techniques. Communication and collaboration services are also possible with data centers. Data center network. The effectiveness of a data center relies on data center network, which plays an important role in communications and processing. Data center network is connecting the physical components of data centers, like the server, the switch, the cable, in certain topology using cable and fiber optic. Since the flagship conference of the ACM, Special Interest Group on Data Communication, first set a session on data center network in 2008, the architecture design has become a very active research area in improving the efficiency and performance of data center networks. The efficiency and performance of a data center is highly dependent on the data center network. And many novel architectures were designed and presented, with several novel devices being connected to data center network, such as wireless antennas and optical switches. This is a third class. In conclusion, in this unit, we have observed the concept behind the idea of data center and how they affect businesses. So it has become clear that data centers are a necessary tool for businesses that want to achieve success in their business. Do we have any questions, please? Any question?
No question for now from me, sir.
Okay. No question for now. We're looking at data processing systems. That is the next class. Data processing systems. As specialist, because you are now specialist, you've done your BSc, Masters, you are doing your Masters, you will surely be using and designing a database. And there's every need for you to understand the way data is organized and used in order to exert authority in an organization. This particular unit will guide you through the process of developing a database. And then the next unit, which will be the next chapter, will introduce you to the concept of cloud computing. Cloud computing. Intended learning outcomes. By the end of this unit, you'll be able to explain the concept of database, enumerate the characteristics of a database, build a simple database solution for small enterprises, create a blueprint for managing a small database. Next question, very important, is this. What is a database? Databases, they play an important role in every area that computers are utilized, whether it is business, whether it's genetics, educational field, medical field. Complete definition of a database is given as follows. It is a collection of data organized, serving different applications effectively in a centralized fashion, thus controlling redundancy. Collection of data that are organized, that are serving different applications effectively in a centralized fashion, thus controlling redundancy. The database helps to service different applications by centralizing data and controlling redundancy. Data on its own means raw fact that you can record and have different meanings. For instance, item number, item price of products in an industry. These are pieces of data. Properties of database. Databases have these properties. A database is representing some aspects of the real world, and is also called the mini world or the universe of discourse. A mini world refers to some part of the real world from which data is obtained and placed in databases. For instance, employee name and dependents from an organization. Any change in the mini world must reflect in the database. Properties of a database. A database is roughly coherent collection of data having some implicit meaning. Any randomly arranged data cannot be considered as a database? Yes. The decision to design, build, and populate a database will always have a purpose. It must have a group of users and certain applications where these users can have some interest. A database management system is a collection of programs which enables users in creating and maintaining databases. This program is a software like Microsoft Access, Oracle, MIS801. Their job is to enable users like you and I in creating your database and maintaining them. Database management system is a general purpose software system which facilitates the process to define, construct, manipulate, and share these databases with varying group of users and applications. Defining a database has to do with the specification of the data types, the structure, and constraints of the data that will be stored in the database. Database definition of descriptive information is also stored by DBMS in the form of a database catalog or dictionary, also called metadata. So constructing the database involves the processes to store data on certain storage medium, which the database management system controls. Manipulating a database involves giving queries to a database to obtain certain data. The query can be, you formulate a small program code that is meant to ask questions. And the results of these questions will be some new tables that we uplifted from an existing table. Sharing the database gives different users and programs the privilege to access the database at the same time. Characteristics of a database. Several characteristics differentiate a database approach from the traditional file processing system, and they include databases are self-describing nature. The self-describing nature of a database system is one of them, because whatever database you are going to bring out, it must be able to describe itself. Insulation between program and data abstractions. This is the program, this is data that will be used by the program. Support of multiple views of the data, sharing of data and multi-user transactions, processing. Data models. Data models are a collection of concepts that are used in describing the structure of a database. Several data models provide certain operations that specify retrieval and update of the database, and it's always vital to differentiate between database description and the database itself. This description is termed the database schema that is specified at the design stage of the database and does not change often. Categories of data model. Concepts in the low-level data models are usually meant for computer experts, not for end users. And between the two extremes is the representation and implementation data models that provide concepts which users understand with ease. Database design. In designing a database, one must know certain details about the data, such as data types, relationships, the way the data will be utilized, and how the organization need to reform in order to accommodate the changes that are inherent in managing the data. And there's also the need for both conceptual and physical design. What is conceptual design? Conceptual design represents an abstract model of the database, while physical design tells the way the data is organized on storage devices like your server and your removable hard disk. The design follows these steps. First one is requirement analysis. For identifying the purpose of your design, you go meet with the stakeholders, collect all their expectations about the proposed database, and then from there you identify the purpose of that database. Organize the data into tables and specify primary keys and analyzing relationships. Procedure for creating a database using Microsoft Access. In creating a database, you start by creating a blank database Click blank desktop database. Name the database at the prompt and click create. To create table, your new database will already have one table called table 1. Access creates this automatically when you create a new database. Let us create another one. Click create from the button, click table. You'll be having additional blank table in your database. And that button can be clicked anytime you want to create a new table. Then how do you add fields to the table? Fields are just other names for column, and these fields are storing data. A field is identified by its own name, e.g. grade, course ID, and so on. Data type is also part of it. Okay, course ID, and so on. To add each field, click on the click to add header and select the data type. Once you select the data type, Access will highlight the field header with field 1. You can type over the top of this to change the field name to something more meaningful. Then the design, overall design view. For a design, to switch to design view, click the view button in the ribbon or click the design view icon at the bottom of the screen. Creating relationships. An Access database allows related data to be stored in different tables and connecting by creating a relationship between the tables. Relationship provides an effective way of data storage, as data can be entered once but accessed anywhere in the database. And that is why it is called relational database. Now you can continue to create new tables with similar steps used in creating the first table. Create two tables, one named products and the other others. Provide some fields for each table as shown below. Field name, product ID, data type, auto number. Product name, short text. Second person, order ID, auto number. Customer ID will now become number. Product ID become number. Create relationships. Now you should be having three tables, customers, products, and others. Start by clicking the relationship button from the design tab on the ribbon. This will launch the show table dialog, which contains a list of tables. Select all three tables and close the dialog. The relationship tab will appear with all three tables. Click and drag the customer ID field from the customer table. Customer's customer ID, the customer field on the other table, others field. This particular diagram shows you how to create relationships. The edit relationship dialog will pop up containing both fields. Enforce referential integrity selected and click OK. That's what you have on the screen there. Then do the name for the product ID, e.g. drag products over others, product, and click OK at the edit relationship screen. Once complete, you will see the following relationship diagram: customer, orders, and products. In conclusion, you are seeing the distinction between database and the traditional file system. Database management systems. Therefore, you can conclude that the database is important for effective business marketing. So we'll take a small break for like 5 minutes, and when we come back, we'll continue with the third class for today.
Excuse me, sir. Please, can I ask a question?
Please go ahead.
Okay, sir. Thank you for the presentation. I'm just asking this last part that we did now, creating a database. I think it would have been better if we do like a practical step of all these things that are listed here, from your head, so that it can help to deepen the understanding of the subject matter.
But when you get home now, if you have Microsoft Access, simulate it. And if there are any questions in our next class, you can ask me.
Okay.
That will be easier. Then when you ask me, I can also demonstrate it. Because of time factor, time to cover more topic within a limited time frame. That's why we are conscious of time.
Okay, sir.
I tried to open Access, but I have 2007. Don't know whether it has the same features.
Have you go through now and let us know your findings?
Okay, sir.